Hey friend, what's up? It's me, Devin Marvell, back again with another video. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button for me. And by the time we are done with this video, I hope that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Also, make sure that you guys follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stairway to Devin. That is D-E-V-E-N. Today we are talking about Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 4, Episode 4. Did you watch Love and Hip Hop Hollywood? So first we're gonna start off with Alexis Sky because she is the character that has like the least really going on in this show right now, and I just really could care less for her drama. So Alexis Sky goes to meet up with her boo Solo Lucci, and they go and they're in the strip club or whatever, and I guess they haven't seen each other in a minute, so this is their first meeting up since they got into it about Solo's baby mama always coming at Alexis on social media. So they sit down and Alexis goes ahead and tells him that she is not pregnant. She took a pregnancy test, it came up negative. He's like, well, how do you feel about that? She's like, I think that's good because I'm not ready for a baby, number one. And she says that I also want to have a family and I want to have a ring and, you know, I want to be married and all that good stuff, you know, before I have a child. And she says that I can't really do that with you because your baby mama still is tripping. And she said, I see that your baby mama is still at it. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I got that. I'm gonna take care of that. So they toast and cheers to him checking his baby mama. So then Alexis and Nikki meet up for a photo shoot, or I think it's a photo shoot. They kind of dress like that damn near every day, so this could just be a regular old day. So Alexis and Nikki step off to the side of the photo shoot and they're talking, and Alexis tells Nikki that she had a little pregnancy scare and she thought that she was pregnant, but she's thankful that she isn't. Out of nowhere, in walks this woman named Sarah, who it turns out to be Solo Lucci's baby mama that we have been hearing absolutely so much about. And Alexis is immediately like, why the hell is she here? And she's like, you know why I'm here. Why are you messing with my baby daddy? And then they start going back and forth, and Alexis is talking about, you're not even with him anymore, and you weren't with him, and yada yada yada, and I'm not homewrecker. And the lady's like, yes you are, you sitting here lying, and blah 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 blah. And she's coming at Alexis, and Alexis is coming back at her, and she swears up and down that Alexis was messing with her man when they were together, and Alexis swears that she wasn't because she's not even like that. And you know how this story goes. We have seen this plenty of times. First of all, Sarah, congratulations, you played yourself. Why are you up on national television making yourself look like a fool over a man that is not yours anymore? He's not. It's over. It's done. He's moved on. He is gone public with a whole entire another woman, and you are making yourself look like a fool all up on her social media. You're making yourself look like a fool coming on this television show, arguing with this girl, and for what? What is the resolution? What did you want from this? What were you going to accomplish? Absolutely nothing. Nikki steps in the middle of them arguing and says, y'all need to be mad at Lucci. And I'm like, yes, finally, somebody with a little bit of sense up in here. But that doesn't stop anything. They continue arguing. Eventually, security escorts Sarah out. And that is the last that we see of Sarah for now. Then we have Brooke Valentine. So Brooke Valentine says that she is tired. She's tired of Marcus's lies, y'all. She can't take it no more. She's tired. So Brooke Valentine goes to meet up with Booby, who is her BFF. And she, you know, pretty much fills him in on all the drama that's been going on in her life with her boo Marcus. And he says, you know what, I tried to say that from jump. I tried to tell you, you know what, he didn't know what he had. You know what I'm saying? He needed to appreciate, he couldn't appreciate a girl like you. He didn't see what he had right in front of him. So Brooke is, you know, feeling all, I guess, emotional or whatever you want to call it by Booby, who is filling her up and gassing her. So then Booby lets her know that he has a song that he's been working on that he would like her to be featured on. And he goes to the car and he plays it. He comes back and he starts rapping and she starts singing like, you know, a little vocal for you right there. So they kind of do their whole little, I don't know, it's like a little empire moment where they're singing along to each other and they're gonna make beautiful music. Meanwhile, Marcus asked one of his homies, one of his better off homies, if he could borrow their crib, and he invites Brooke over to have a little chat. He wants to make up with her. He wants to, you know, kiss and make up. He wants to let her know that he's sorry and all of that. He didn't mean to lie about getting divorced and then lie about cheating on her and make her look like a fool. He didn't mean none of that. Come on now, baby. Come home. Come on, baby. So Brooke comes over to talk to Marcus, and Marcus is, you know, he's very apologetic, and he's letting her know that he's very sorry. And Brooke says, sorry don't cut the fact that you have me out here looking like a fool. You know, what do you want, a cookie because you finally got divorced when you already told me that you had gotten divorced? Do you want a cookie for making me look like I'm the side chick when you was out here messing with that little paralegal hoe? She was like, no. Brooke also tells him that, look, I know exactly what you want. You got this home right here. It is dumb 30 o'clock. Okay, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get up in these drawers. And she lets him know that even if I was wearing panties, you would be the last person that I would take them off for. And I was like, yes, Brooke, okay, all right, Brooke, tell him. Marcus says, oh, baby, I'm sorry, you know, you're the only one I want. I want you, I want your soul. Brooke lets him know, you know, I think it's cute that you asked me here to this house. And he says, oh, stop with all the little swag stuff. Here you go with all the little swaggy stuff. And she's like, but I can't stay, unfortunately, because I'm going to the studio and I got a little studio sesh with Booby. And of course this, you know, triggers Marcus and gets under his skin a little bit, but what can he do? She goes off to the studio with Booby. So then Marcus goes to meet up with A1 and Solo Lucci, and he's telling A1 and Solo about his lady problems and how Brooke pretty much just dogged him out. And A1's like, well, you pretty much brought that up on yourself. You started this game and she's just playing it with you. So he's like, you right. And it's like, duh. What else can you say? Because I mean, it's crazy how dudes want to be out here having their cake and eating it too, and having the nerve, the audacity to get mad when you sat here and are talking to female after female after female, and then when one of the females, I guess, in your lineup decides that she doesn't want to play a little game anymore, then you want to get all in your feelings and act like you were just going to be so committed from jump when you know that wasn't the case. So if you want to be out here and you want to be a hoe, then just go do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to tie somebody down and still try to live your whole life. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. A1 says that he is supposed to meet up with Keisha Cole, but he doesn't know because wifey doesn't want him working with any female artists, and his boys are pretty much like, man, that is Keisha Cole, you better take that meeting. So A1 says, you know, that he's gonna go ahead and take that meeting. Solo pretty much fills them in on what he's got going on with Alexis and lets them know that his baby mama is crazy. And that's pretty much that. Then we see Brooke in the studio with Booby, and they're just all over each other, and they both let us know that they've been feeling each other. They've been knowing each other since they were like 12 years old, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Booby reminds us that him and Keisha are separated, and they have been separated for a while. The divorce is underway, so he says that he's free to do him and Brooke. Brooke says that it's time to take Booby out of the friend zone. They in the studio, and you know, y'all saw what was going down. I'm gonna pretend to be shocked that Booby and Brooke Valentine ended up together, because it's not, I just, from the first episode and all that chemistry, I just would have never seen this coming. Okay, Tierra Marie, y'all. Tierra Marie, y'all. We need to reach out the hands of prayer. We need the congregation to reach out the hands of prayer for Miss Tierra Marie. Okay, everybody. Tierra Marie just seems to be going through it. And yes, so if everybody could just pray for Tierra. So Tierra Marie, her homegirls, Moniece and Nia Riley, decide to go meet up with Cisco. And I think that they're at Moniece's apartment or something. And when we see them, they're talking about Tierra's drinking problem again behind her back. They, you know, pretty much say that she's still drinking like a fish, and that she really needs help, and that they want to be the ones to tell her and to help her. And I guess they want to make sure that Cisco is on board with that. So they invite Cisco over, and you know, they come at him straight up with it. And Moniece says she has a drinking problem. Are you aware of that? He says, no, when we were in New York, she wasn't really drinking like that. I didn't see any signs of a drinking problem. Actually, she's been drinking more since we've been here, and this Tierra is not the Tierra that I knew, you know, back in New York. This is like a whole different person. And he says that he's, you know, trying to process all this information and take it all in, that everybody's saying that Tierra has a drinking problem. Tierra has a drinking problem. Moniece lets him know that she feels like they need to do something about it, and she wants to have like an intervention, and she wants to make sure that he's down and he's not just gonna hit the hills running, you know? So He says, yeah, if I was gonna run, I would have been ran by now, but he's down, he's in it for the long haul, but he wants to talk to Tiara and make sure that he knows where her head is at as far as this relationship, because maybe they're not at a place where she wants him to see her go down that dark path, or, you know, through that dark journey. So Cisco tells us that since him and Tiara have been in LA, they have just been arguing like they have never argued before, and he wants to get to the bottom of it. So he sits down with Tiara, who is just looking like she's been on a drinking bender all day, and I am like, way to stay committed to this character, or way good job Loving Hip Hop for making sure that this girl looks like she is just a mess every time that we see her. They sit down and they're talking, and Cisco lets her know like he feels like she's been cold and, you know, closed off to him. He wants to know what's going on, and she lets him know that, well, she would just rather talk to a bottle than talk to him. And he says, and she tells him that you just wouldn't understand. And he says, well, I would understand more than you know, because I actually went to rehab for alcoholism and for pills. I thought that was like a kind of a nice little powerful moment from Cisco. It's nice to see him in this vulnerable state on this show, because he's always so like, oh, tough creep squad, you know, guy playing the girls or whatever. But seems like he's really there for Tiara, and he lets her know that he's there. And he says, you know, when I went through my situation, I had to go through it all alone, and you don't have to go through it alone. It was a really nice scene. It was cute. I didn't know if it was necessarily believable. I kind of felt like I was watching like General Hospital or The Young and the Restless or something straight out of Tyler Perry, to be honest. You know, I just genuinely hope that Cisco has really good intentions. I hope that if this is a real situation for either one of them, that they're not playing games with each other. I hope that this works out. Cisco does seem to be good for Tiara Marie. You know, I just really hope that's the case. Cisco then takes Tiara to this detox, and she gets an IV put in, and they, I guess, are detoxing the alcohol out of her body. After they leave the clinic, she says that she feels great after the detox. Cisco says the reason that he took her to the detox is because he feels like her friends are overreacting about this whole drinking thing, and they're just being dramatic, and that she doesn't need all that. She just needs somebody to kind of be there for her. And Tiara says herself that alcohol is not really my problem as much as it is the people that I have around me. Well, I don't know if she's really alcoholic. That's what they're, you know, trying to set us up to believe. If she is in super denial. And it, you know, it's crazy, because one minute she's telling Cisco, I would rather pour out my feelings to a bottle, and then the next minute she's saying, I don't have a drinking problem. And then if Cisco is sitting here supporting her denial and, you know, kind of isolating her from her friends, that's no good either. I don't know. I just don't know about this relationship. I hope everything works out. So Keisha Cole is going shopping because she is about to have the album release party for 1111 Reset, her new album that's coming out, and she's excited. She's on a new record label. She's with Epic Records, and she needs somebody to help her get her look together. So she calls A$AP Rock Bottom, and he comes, and I guess he is supposed to help, you know, style her for this event. He ends up telling her all of the drama that he has going on in his life, and, you know, filling her in on the whole Alexis versus Masika and how he got in the middle of that, and Alexis throwing the drink in the bag at him, and this, that, and the third. And then he mentions that Masika, even though they have bad blood, invited him to her party. So he says that, you know, he doesn't know if he's gonna go, and I guess Keisha says that he should go. He's like, okay, well, I think I am gonna go, but I just don't want that blowfish saying anything to me. I hope that blowfish don't say anything. And she's like, who's that blowfish? And it turns out that he's talking about Ray, who is an event planner. I think he was also on College Hill back in the day, if you guys remember that, on BT, back when BT was good. He's helping Masika plan her little beauty lunch party. So apparently they have some type of beef, but we'll get there, okay? So hold that thought, all right? So then Keisha Cole meets up with her A&R representative, and her A&R rep is like, the album is really good, but it has, you know, a few things that I feel are still missing from it. So she tells her that, I want you to meet somebody, and walks A1. So A1 sits down, have a meeting with Keisha Cole. He pretty much sells himself as a producer, lets him know that I can help you out. You know, I could speed up them vocals. You know, I could do a little bit of do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? She's like, you're hired. And the A&R is like, you know, clear your schedule. A1 says, Lyrica didn't want me working with female artists. I think she meant like signing them, but she didn't say anything about just working with them. He says he pretty much can't turn down this opportunity to work with a dope artist like Keisha Cole. And I'm like, yeah, you know, that's a good look for you. So hopefully Lyrica will be understanding. Okay, but last but not least, not in the least at all, Masika, who is at the center of all of the drama in this episode, darling. So Masika is getting her nails done with her new gay accessory, Ray, and I guess he is helping her plan the events, the launch of her beauty line, what is it, Kari Barbie Cosmetics or whatever it is. So he's helping her get ready for her event, and they're putting together the list, and they're pretty much going down the list of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood cast people, who's gonna be there, who's not. He says Moniece, and she's like, of course, Moniece. And he says Nia, she's like, duh. He says Tiara, and she's like, yeah. And he's like, ooh, well, I heard about Tiara, you know, but I ain't want to gossip, so you ain't hear this from me. But I heard that Tiara was at somebody's party, and she was looking a mess, and her hair was all lopsided, and her clothes weren't buttoned right, and she reeked of vodka. I'm just like, oh, this messy queen right here. Can we get a non-messy queen on one of these shows? Can we get some good representation? That's all I'm asking for. Just a little bit, just one time for the one time. That's all I'm saying. But Masika does kind of sort of come to Tiara's defense, and it's like, I don't like that. So they keep going. He says they're gonna invite Hazel E, and she's like, who, Nasal He? And he's like, come on, invite Nasal. She's like, no. Hazley's not invited. So then Ray says, okay, are you gonna invite A$AP Rock Bottom? And she says, well, you know what, we kind of are beefing right now because he's been kicking it with Riff Raff, talking about Alexis Sky. And she says, you know, I'm just not really feeling him right now. So Ray says, well, I don't really know him like that, but we kind of met up in Atlanta at some event or something, and apparently he had a problem with me, so I have a problem with him. So Ray and A$AP Rock Bottom, just, they don't like each other. They don't get along for whatever reason. Ray says, you know, I'll go ahead and invite A$AP Rock Bottom, and I'll take care of him myself. So when we get to Masika's beauty launch party, everything is nice, it's going well. A$AP Rock Bottom walks in with Moniece. They go up to the host, Masika, and they're like, oh, hey girl, what's up, hey, kisses, mwah, mwah. When A$AP Rock Bottom goes to get his kiss, Masika's like, hold up, wait. And he's like, what? I don't get a kiss. And she's like, no, because you haven't been loyal. So I'm gonna take my loyal friend, Moniece. We're gonna go over here. And he's like, I have been loyal. And she's like, no, you haven't been. So, but he's like, why would you even invite me to this party then? Ray gets up on the microphone to give a toast to Masika and this whole event. And when he gets up there, A$AP Rock Bottom just starts acting a plumb donkey fool. He decides that he's gonna lie on the table that I guess is like the sample table, and he says, does anybody have a pillow? Does anybody have a pillow? Because he says that Ray was just boring him to death, and he was just doing the absolute most. So Ray was ignoring him at first, and you know, he says, Masika, you know, what was your inspiration behind this line? And Masika takes over and she starts talking. She's like, first, I want to thank everybody who's being appropriate. And A$AP Rock Bottom is like, being appropriate? How am I not being appropriate? And Ray's like, well, you're sitting here laying on the cosmetics table. A$AP Rock Bottom is just like, that's because you're boring and da-da-da. You're boring and I'm tired or whatever. Masika thanks Ray for all that he did for putting this event together. She says that I know that I gave you a big plate, and A$AP Rock Bottom's like, and he ate the plate, he ate the whole thing. Ray is like, where's the playground? Because we have some children in here. And so he calls A$AP Rock Bottom a child. A$AP Rock Bottom tells him that he needs to go back to the zoo. Ray calls him this, A$AP Rock Bottom calls him that. He tries to jump at him, security comes in between them. Next thing you know, A$AP Rock Bottom just starts throwing things at Ray, and there's just all this commotion, and it's just, ah! So the party is ruined, and that's the end of it. So we'll see what happens next week with everything and see how it all unfolds. Apparently A$AP Rock Bottom and Ray are gonna have another confrontation, with Ray calling him a Tasmanian devil. Masika says she's more upset at Ray for the situation, and you know, just all that mess. So Tiara is finally gonna confront her friends for being fake and talking about her problem behind her back, so I'm excited to see that. But what did you guys think about this episode? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you for watching. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stairway2Devin. That is D-E-V-E-N. Also, you can follow me on Tumblr, Stairway to Devin. You can follow me on WordPress, Stairway to Devin. Facebook, Stairway to Devin. It's all just Stairway to Devin, wherever you want to find me. So, thank you guys for being a friend. Bye.